Pat and Rita O'Brennan told me I needed to go to Ocean City, Maryland, to a bar called the Talbot Street Cafe. He said he would be playing there in about a month and gave me the dates. He said if I showed up, he would put me on stage and let me audition. He thought they would love my show there. Well, I made it. I showed up for Pat's Friday night show, and it was the month of May, as I recall. He was booked in for 2 nights, Friday and Saturday night. Well, there it was, the Talbot Street Cafe, owned by 2 magical guys named Billy Federoff and Dale Baker. It was early morning when I got up, 9 or 10. I'd gotten there the night before from Cumberland. I'd spent the night under Kate Bunting's motel. It was a motel built on big poles with parking underneath. That way, if a storm blew in, the motel would not get flooded. 1.5 blocks from the boardwalk. On the other side of the parking lot was a great drinking bar called the Dutch Bar. Around the corner was another place called the Purple Moose. Talbot Street Cafe was locked up. They didn't open till noon. I went around back to see if anyone was around, and there was a fence, as I recall, with a gate that faced in. The gate pushed into a garden patio, and I smelled the most fabulous food cooking I'd ever smelled. Smoked fish on apple wood and cherry wood. All of a sudden I heard a voice that sounded like the voice of God. A big, huge laugh, and I looked up and saw the face of the ocean. The old man from the sea. Every pirate I'd ever read about as a child. There he stood. 6'4" in deck shorts. Khaki short-sleeved navy shirt open to the waist, a crooked pipe. A captain's hat cocked to one side, a 3-inch gray beard. 250 pounds or more, huge hands, and a twinkle in one eye that looked like stars. "What do you need?" he asked in a huge voice. I grinned and said, "Coffee." He grinned and said, "Sit." I was dressed in hat and boots, western shirt, Levi's, carrying my guitar in a case. I was 5'5", in my late 20s, and weighed in at about 120 pounds. I sat. He interviewed me. "Have you ever been quizzed by a real pirate? It's a trip." Here was Hemingway, Captain Tony, rum runner, captain of the 7 Seas, asking me who I was and why I'd come through that gate. He gave me a cup of the best coffee I'd ever had, opened the door on a huge smoker that was built from an old stainless steel refrigerator, pulled out some smoked tuna and smoked eel. I was starving, and he knew it. I told him my name was Mountain John. He said, "Well, Mountain John, I'm Captain Jack." I heard some laughter from above, and I looked up and saw about 4 guys in beach chairs on the roof. Each person had on sunglasses, swimsuits, and flip-flops. A gnarly-looking crew. Hippies and outlaws, every one. Hung over and trying to meet another day on the beach. Someone said, "What's in that guitar case, a machine gun or a guitar?" I pulled it out and tuned it and sang a song. Jack put some smoked fish on a plate, placed it on a patio table next to my coffee. In the middle of a song, another guy appeared on the staircase. He said, "What's up, Jack?" Jack just grinned and said, "Dale, this here's Mountain John. You need to talk to him." I finished the song and they all clapped. Dale came down and introduced himself. Says, "I'm Dale Baker, one of the owners. How'd you hear about us?" I said, "A guy named Pat O'Brennan told me I should be here tonight to audition on his show, and he told me I should talk to Billy and Dale." "Well," he said, "I'm Dale, and Billy is hard to find." About that time, a guy that looked like Tarzan, Johnny Weissmuller, blonde, blue eyes, Hawaiian shirt, money bank bag, walked by and grabbed a bicycle. Dale said, "Billy, this is Mountain John," and Billy said, "Can't talk to you now, Mountain Joe." He left. Everybody laughed. Jack poured more coffee and said, "That's Billy." Jack was right. That was Billy. He was always in a hurry. That day I just hung out telling Captain Jack my story, and this started a friendship that will last my whole lifetime.